extremely idealistic person. Anything that happens in the world, especially in India, if anything goes wrong, I don't know, I feel extremely guilty. If I see somebody on a beggar on the street, I would feel bad that what can I do about this person? Why is this person so, unhappy or suffering if he or she is? That's my bent of mind, and that's how maybe I've been brought up. The school that I went to was like that. So that's the thought process I've had since childhood. Now I'll narrate an incident. Those of you who are on my Facebook will know about this, especially after hearing the earlier discussion. I think it will be interesting to listen to what has happened through my entrepreneurial journey, if it is an entrepreneurial journey at all. Few days ago, my parents had gone for a social gathering, and the next morning they came back, and they were looking a bit gloomy. They're not cheerful generally that I see them in the morning. And I smell something wrong. I smell that something is not right in their mind, and they're concealing something. So I asked them that, what is the matter? How was the social gathering last night? Because I had already gone to sleep by the time they returned. And initially they were trying to conceal it. They were not trying to tell me, yeah, it was fine. Good food, good people, we had a good time. Still I felt that they were not opening up to me. They were not telling me the story. So then I tried to probe further that, who all were there, what happened. And then my mom said, that we got into a bit of a fight. Now my parents getting into a fight is like unimaginable. It's like, apple turning into an orange. It's impossible. Now if my parents got into a fight, that means something serious would have happened. So I asked them, I hope everything is fine. I hope nothing serious. They said, no, nothing serious, nothing serious. It's just that actually, they didn't know how to put it, but to put it simply, they said one of the persons who was invited there, it happens to be one of my favorite uncles, he was extremely disapproving of the work that I was doing, and he was very vocal about it. And he told my parents in front of everybody, all the other invitees present, he was just going left, right and center that, what is your daughter Kanan doing? Is she in her senses? She has studied at the London School of Economics, she's been to Stanford, she's worked with the Prime Minister's office, and this is just to give a background as to how people think. I was also with McKinsey & Company in London, and now I'm running an organization which actually doesn't have a revenue model. It's a charitable venture, if you call it. We basically work to strengthen the democratic processes of India. So I don't know how you would perceive it, but that's what I do. And I didn't know how to react because it was very difficult for my parents to convey this to me. It was very difficult for them because they've always been so encouraging. And suddenly, an attack like this, that too in public space where everybody else was present, and then uncle, he said, I'm a well-wisher of hers, why is she doing this? She should go back to a lucrative position in London or wherever. Why is she here, trying to help India? Nothing is going to change, everything is corrupt. She's just wasting her time. And I don't know, my parents kept a dignified silence. They didn't want to react or say anything very provocative then. But it had definitely affected them. And to see them so affected, it affected me also immensely. I really started questioning everything. That, what I'm doing, why I'm here, I'm a young person, I have all these opportunities, I should go back and I should, maybe what my uncle said was right. And it was a very, these kind of situations, these kind of, I don't know how to call it, but situations which really make you introspect in a more than one way, keep happening to maybe a social entrepreneur's life. And I think it's part and parcel of it, and the journey is not very easy. When you're trying to follow your passions, then maybe the strategy or the revenue model maybe slowly evolves. So after 1.5 to 2 years of doing what I'm doing right now, I've started thinking that the response that I've received or the encouragement that I've gotten from so many fields has been so overwhelming that there is definitely a need to scale this up further, or to have a revenue model, to professionally manage my organization, to set it up as an institution. So maybe these kind of thoughts are afterthoughts once you're following your passion. So when you're following your passion, strategy doesn't come very easily. That's what happened. That's what has happened in my case. Maybe I'm sure some of you will be able to connect to it, some of you won't be able to connect to it. So that is my 2 cents who's trying to be a social entrepreneur, that financial considerations, are extremely important. Of course, we all need money to survive in this world. That I had all the introspective thinking that I had vanished in a minute, because a young person who was excited about what he was doing, he was calling, he had come all the way from Delhi, and he had come specially to meet me for the work that I'm doing here, was really, really encouraging. So I believe that there are ups and downs. And as I was saying earlier, if you have the luxury of experimenting with your thoughts and passion, then it is really, really worth it. Now, something about the organization and what basically I'm doing. As I said earlier, I'm a very sensitive person, so I really feel bad very easily and feel good also very easily. So when I was back in India, I started practicing in the High Court because I'm a law graduate. And when I started practicing, law is very close to my heart, because I've always believed that to make any change sustainable, it is necessary to have a legislative reformative process. So I started practicing it every day, day after day. I was looking at people who would come to the High Court, and most of them, 90% of them would be poor people from across the state, And I would also see that 10-15% of the rich people would be there to have corporate matters solved and things like that. And I would see a stark difference that those who were rich people who knew the celebrated lawyers or the judges also, for them it would be just a matter of couple of visits and their matter was solved, their work was done. But those who were poor people, for them to get justice was extremely difficult, I still feel extremely sad that, the visuals of the courts that poor people would never, for them to actually get a hearing was also a big ordeal. So then I felt very bad about it, and I asked myself that what am I doing about it? I'm a lawyer, I should try to help these people. So I went around the legal aid clinics and I talked to the judges as well. And what was most disillusioning was when I went and spoke to some very big lawyers or the judges, they said the same thing, that you should just go back and join a corporate office, don't try to meddle with this process. And that's when I decided that I need to start a platform for people like me who think in the similar way, who actually want to help. Because through my talks with people of my age, I could at least get the sense that a lot of people are interested in helping the country. I think tides have turned. Young people are passionate about contributing to India in whatever way possible. So maybe I should try whatever I can do. So I started this platform to basically do research. Because through my exposure abroad, I have realized one thing, that research in anything is extremely important. If you are trying to get into a new venture, or if you are trying to understand the system properly, you have to do a thorough research in understanding the depth of the issue. So even to understand the Indian legal system or the political system that I want to contribute towards, I needed to understand the system well. So I called it Research Foundation for Governance in India, because ultimately I think all the governance systems in India really need a lot of reform. And I didn't know how this would turn out. It was just a crazy idea. It was basically born out of my compassion for the system, compassion for the poor people who needed justice. And I think when you want to do something genuinely for other people, universe does conspire and things happen one after the other. So I told about this idea to a friend of mine, and he said, oh Kanan, this is a great idea. I basically need this help with the website. I said, I want one static page. I don't want to do anything right now. So just one static page, I'll register the domain name, and that's about it. So he said, okay, I'll definitely help you, but only on one condition. I said, what? He said, my condition is that I should be part of the organization. And that was a very great start. I think he made a wonderful website. A lot of people still come to me and said, it's a good website that you've designed. So that's how the website got created. And then we were just looking about various systems, and it was election time, 2009 Lok Sabha election. So one day I meet a young chap, just my age, in Bombay for an electoral reforms conference that I was attending. He, somehow came to know that I was from Ahmedabad in the same group. So he said, are you from Ahmedabad? So we were looking for people in Ahmedabad for the Chakore campaign. Would you be interested? So I said, of course, Chakore is such a big campaign and they are approaching me, so wonderful. So I didn't have a team at that time. And I was from HL College, so I contacted some professors and students at HL after coming back from the conference. I said, I need some people to do the Chakore campaign. And everybody was ready, all the youngsters were so excited. Yes, definitely. And we had a team of about 20 people, and a short span of about 15 to 20 days, we registered 8,000 people in Ahmedabad for the Chakore campaign. We went to schools, colleges, we collaborated with so many NGOs, lot of people are doing good work, and it's not that if you are part of an NGO or starting your own social entrepreneurship that there is no money. Money is there. How will all these people be surviving otherwise? So that's how the foundation took a strong bearing. And at that time also I was not full time. I was still practicing. I was doing some consulting assignments. And then one day ISAC contacted me, and they said there's a lot of international people want to come and work for you. And that was quite startling that, all these people from abroad also. And I said, yes, of course, it's a great opportunity. So since last 1.5 years that we've started accepting interns, we've had people from about 15 countries who've come all the way on voluntary basis and who have worked for my organization. Some of the issues that we've taken up have been inner party democracy, so looking at how political parties work. Basically, we looked at 3 basic things in management of political parties. One is what is the role and responsibility of members. Secondly, how they give tickets for running elections. And third is how they select their office bearers, so general secretary, president, and things like that. So for this, we contacted about 40 political parties from across the world. We've created a research paper. We contacted all the political big wigs in India and in Gujarat, and we had a very nice, release of the report as well. So it was very well covered in the media, and a lot of change has happened since then because we've been in touch with young NSUI and ABVP Karyakas, and they were like, we want to do something. So they've also joined the movement with us. So basically, as I was giving an example, one of our basic work that we do is research. So to understand the system well. Inner party democracy is just one example. We've also worked a lot with the registry of the High Court. We've tried to understand how young people can be encouraged to join litigation. So if you know any law graduates, generally law graduates are very interested in joining the corporate law office because of course they pay well and not everybody can afford the luxury of going through the tough process of arguing law. And I faced difficulties, of course, and I wanted to understand what is the role and responsibility of a young lawyer practicing in High Court or lower court in India. So we did a survey in 6 cities, and we found startling statistics that if you are a practicing lawyer, you will not get paid for the first couple of years. And in our survey results, about 47% of those interviewed did not get paid for the first 3 years. Only, I think, about 7% got paid more than 8,000 rupees per month. And even from the national law schools, which are, very celebrated 5-year law colleges, only 3% end up joining litigation, and out of that, 92% have family backgrounds. So you can imagine what a clique it is. And when the legal system is such a big clique, I mean, the consequences are obvious. It takes 20-25 years to solve a case. The present backlog in the High Court, in Gujarat High-court is the highest in the country. And according to the UN statistics, the present backlog in Indian courts, if we stop accepting any more case from today, existing backlog is going to take 350 years. So imagine this is the kind of statistics that we are dealing with, and that is one of our research projects. And we continue to take it up further on that. In fact, yesterday only I met some people from the law ministry, and they appreciated the work that we've done. They in fact said that we've quoted your research in several government commissions reports as well. So I think that's a very good achievement for a young organization which has been around for only 1.5 to 2 years. So those are the 2 main research projects that we've done. We are also working on about 7 to 8 other research projects with IIM Ahmedabad and CPR, the law ministry, and very private